the Tier 5 channel members and patrons: Bob the Dragon, Datamagnet, Sergeant Puma, Cat Crab Lobster, and Duck Machine. Thank you very much for the support. It is much appreciated. Story number 1. Recovered Battlelog Reference 1152. Written by Ogosh. The following battlelog was recovered from the Tashmari neural chip, reference 1152. Upon completion of analysis, neural chip and declassified data returned to Tashmari High Command in accordance with the Dawson Protocol. Reference Chapter 14, Article 3. Tashmari units of measurement have been edited for better understanding, and classified information has been redacted. Major Altol Stillheart Battlelog, Local Day 6 of UMA 4 deployment. Location: I've been stuck in the wreckage of this transport shuttle for almost 3 local days now. I'm hungry, thirsty. I have 3 cells of chemical laser shot left for my rifle. And somewhere in that building, 312 meters away from me, is a human soldier. The only reason I'm still alive is because whatever weapons it's using can't pierce the 15-centimeter shuttle armor scrap I'd been hiding behind. I was deployed on this rock as part of the initiative to counter these Skluchka, roughly translate as lesser being. But I am the one they put on the defensive. My one hope ever. I heard of all of these humans, specially trained to neutralize targets from a great distance. Snipers. I was supposed to be deployed closer to, but when my transport went down, only 3 of us survived the landing. The pilot wasn't one of them. The 3 of us that remained attempted to secure the area. Our initial sweep, it appeared as though we got lucky. No immediate enemy presence, and our distress beacon appeared as though it could still broadcast. That is when it hit us. Before I knew it, Sergeant Song was shot in the head. As I ran for cover, Corporal Substep took a shot to the leg and dropped in the open. She was still alive, and I could hear her screams from behind my scrap cover. I attempted to sprint from my small piece of cover to a more defensible position closer to Substep. But before I got 1 meter out, a shot flew right in front of me, literally taking the point of my beak with it. I fell backwards into my cover and waited, listening to Substep call to me. The human was using her as bait. I could see her from my position, urged her to crawl to me, but when she began to move, another shot blasted the dirt half a meter from her. The message was clear. She's mine. That was 2 local days ago. The corporal has still stopped moving. She has most likely bled out. Emlina, Tashmari, god of death, take her. But her sacrifice was not completely in vain. I have a rough idea where the Skluka is. He is in the residential area, 4, maybe 6 floors up, overlooking the entire field. This was its killing floor, and we crashed right into the middle of it. My only hope now is that the sniper is less patient than I. I've been in this situation before. I had to wait 4 local days for the Skluchka to fall asleep at his post. I crept out from cover at night and slit its throat. But that was a Morva. They're fairly predictable, and their species was never meant for war. Humans, though, they're something different. We've never won a battle against them that didn't come at a hefty cost. They are masters of counter-offensive and scorched earth tactics. Even when we managed to take a city or a planet, what remained was either indefensible or worthless strategically. The Skluchka would see the universe burn than anyone else owed it. It's insane. Damage to neural chip. Battle log for local day 7 lost. Major Alto Stillheart. Battle log local day 8 of UMA 4 deployment. Location: I tried to leave my cover yesterday. I poked my head up for less than a second and almost lost my head. A shot landed on the plating right next to my face. I have shrapnel in both my left eyes. I'm half blind, famished, completely parched, and now I drift in and out of consciousness. How can one Sklutchka manage this? I once held the record for the longest single engagement by a Dashmari soldier. And this nameless human, has not only pushed me to that limit, but managed to stay attentive enough to almost kill me after 5 local days. Humans. I recalled shortly after becoming pinned that this transport shuttle carries emergency rations, nutri-fluids, and first aid supplies. The problem was, the shuttle wreck was 50 meters away over open terrain. My plan was to wait out the sniper and make my way to the shuttle to patch myself up and call for assistance with a beacon. But the Sklutchka had proven more patient than me. I have one last idea. It's practically suicidal, but it's better than dying of thirst behind this hunk of twisted metal. On my combat belt is a short pulse concussion bomb. Normally it is used to clear bunkers, either by forcing the enemy to break cover or killing or stunning them with a concussive blast. If I throw the grenade in front of the cover, I should potentially confuse the human and make the sprint for the wreck. With luck, I can at least daze him as I break cover, and hope that it is at least tired enough to miss 2 shots. 2 shots is what I give it. That's how many I think I can get off in 50 meters. I'm gonna do it now. If I fail, then long live the Lbry. Demlina, be merciful. Recording ends as Major Alto Stillheart perishes. Automatic safe lock of neural chip engaged. Post-combat field autopsy suggests the Tashmari soldier was killed when the grenade he threw was shot by Staff Sergeant Carter and detonated over the soldier's head, killing him instantly in the resulting concussive blast. End of story. Story number 2. Party Animals, written by Digital 332006. Everyone likes to have a good time, right? That's at least one trait shared by every species I've met so far. I've been to a good few rages in my time, so I feel like I can speak from experience. I've also thrown some good ones, coming in 9th for Best Party and Andromeda. I take real pride in that because, well, all the other places, 1 through 37, were all won by humans. I used to think I knew the recipe for a good party. Good ambience, tasty consumables, large enough venue, and a good enough ratio of female to male, right? Well, wrong. Humans came along and swept the rugs out from under the tentacles, feet, talons. It started with thieves. Themed parties were all the rage. Pool party? Why not? Wear masks or suits? Sure. They were new, and I thought they'd be a fad. How wrong I was. It became apparent that humans were great hosts, and word spread that their parties were great fun. The days of enjoying handcrafted selenium-baked goods while talking about the latest holobirds seemed to be nearing their end. Even mundane affairs, a pool party hosted by an average human, for example, became sought after. Not simply for what the humans called barbecue, and was often served at these, but for the human presence. Human parties had a lot of humans, and humans had parties. Wow. There's a reason the new saying goes, party like a human. Not only the hosts, they now served as one of the attractions. Seeing an inebriated human jump from a tall structure into a pool was fascinating. Doubly so when they missed and fell flat on the ground. Somehow, however, they managed to avoid serious injuries in 90% of the cases. As this was starting to lose some of the novelty and glamour after a few years, humans decided to spice things up again. Apparently, they used to host these really long parties back in their home planets. These so-called raves featured music, dancing, light shows, drugs, fog machines, and flamethrowers, and quite frankly at this point, likely anything ever invented by humans. What shocked most, however, was not the drugs, but the sheer duration of these. Most easily go for 12 hours, while some have even gone a full 24 or longer. It is quite literally physically impossible for any species to be able to keep up with the human. Certainly, the drugs help, but humans can go to sleep for a bit and then simply head on to another party mere hours later. and they're so aggressively competitive about it too, often boasting about their party exploits. Naturally, this was a bit much for some, and we started getting them back into our more regular parties. Then bam, blindsided again. Do you know how many types of party humans have? It's quite an exhaustive list, I assure you. Balls, banquets, birthdays, surprise, dinner, tea, garden, cocktail, reception, soirees, costume, rave, house, pool, mixers, fundraisers, graduation parties, and I could go on and on. For instance, when two humans become partners, they usually have a bachelor party and a bachelorette, and those are before the actual wedding party. Then, usually not long after, when the female is expecting, they have a shower party. Surely this is enough partying, even for a human, right? Wrong. That's not even all. The wedding party often has an after party. Then they get home and have a housewarming party. Maybe their neighbors even have a welcoming party planned for them. You can see my distress then, as someone who hosts parties for a living. Even their children host parties, known as sleepovers, and some others such as LAN parties. This knowledge put me on the precipice. I was about to quit, clearly outmatched by this species who spends their waking hour celebrating. Then I was hit by the most absurd ideas. The humans have this one singular party that is unrivaled by anything known in the universe, an event known as Burning Man. A week-long event that the latest Burning Man saw 1.3 million attendees, traditionally hosted on Earth. It has since been relocated to Mars. The scale of such a thing boggles my mind, and it has broken me. I spent nearly a month in a delirious stupor before I managed to collect myself. I came to the realization that I could not compete with them and accepted the fact. I can, however, still be second to them, and it has taken a large weight off my shoulders. Even amongst themselves, the competition for bigger, better parties that drive humans forward. I shall simply sit back and enjoy the show. End of story. And that, my friends, concludes this video. I hope that you